Alright, so I actually just did this guy, totally forgot to record him, so we're just going to kind of run through it real quick. Alright, pretty easy to do, not really much of an issue, but yeah, we're just going to go ahead and run through this guy real quick, so yeah, you guys can learn how to do a chocolate factory within Try-Hack-Me. So I'm going to go ahead and CD in that desktop, Try-Hack-Me, chocolate factory. Alright, I already got the IP address pulled up, and we're just going to kind of run through this real quick. So, very first bit, obviously I did my map scan like I usually do. Okay, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. I saw it's port 21, immediately decided to do an mmap tac P21, looking at our default scripts, looking at our default, or looking for that version right, and for our IP address there. And I also see port 80 here, so let's go ahead and check that out like real quick. Alright, there's port 80, we got a user and a username and a password it looks like. So we did get some type of FTP in here. If I go ahead and FTP into that guy, and it is anonymous login also allowed, as you can see. So let's go ahead and do anonymous. No password, ls-tac-la. We get this gumroom.jpg. Now as I was looking through the questions over there, I realized this guy's going to be more CTF-ish. So I went ahead and got that gumroom. So let's go ahead and do a strings for gumroom.jpg. Look through this whole thing. We're not really going to find much in here. So what we want to do now is we're going to use a steg cracker. So I'm thinking, okay, it has to be something with steg, right? Steganography. So we have steg hide, tag extract, tag sf, which is for a file, and it's going to be gumroom.jpg. We'll ask you for a passphrase. They will always ask for that. You just go ahead and hit enter. We'll go ahead and overwrite it. All right. And as you can see, we went ahead and we grabbed this b64.txt. If there was a passphrase on there, we could always crack that passphrase also with a word list. So let's go ahead and look at this b64. So we'll cat that b64.txt. And it's definitely base64. We got those two equal signs at the end. And the text file is actually called b64. So we're pretty sure that's going to be base64. Let's go ahead and echo that. And we'll put that, pipe that into a base64 tac D to decode it, right? And we get this, and it looks like the shadow file. This definitely looks like a shadow file. So we can grab this whole file if you want, or we can just look at who actually has a password, which looks like Charlie. So we can grab this whole Charlie right here. Boom. Let's go ahead and do a nano Charlie pass.txt. Throw that in there. Then we can use John the Ripper with a word list, right? We'll use that word list rocky.txt, and then we'll do Charlie pass.txt. And then I also did tac 4 equals 4 because it was taking a minute to do this. So I've already cracked this, right? It did take a few minutes to crack it, so I'm not going to crack it again. Let's go ahead and cat or locate that john.pop file. Like, it took long enough where I was about to use hashcat on my local Windows machine, so I could use the GPU with it. Let's go ahead and cat that guy. Alright, and we see we got a couple things in here. Boom, 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 cool. And then we see our hash that we just actually cracked right here, right? So CN7824 is going to be our password for that guy. And that was for user Charlie. Let's go ahead and do Charlie. And we'll go ahead and put in that. Whoops. That is not it. I'll tell you that much right now. That's CN7824. Alright, awesome. Let's do an ls-tac-la. We get some type of a command prompt here, and it does work. Okay. We have a validate.php. We have a key rev key. Let's go ahead and look at that like real quick. Key rev key. That's kind of weird. And so is that validate. I don't know what either of those two are. Let's go ahead and execute that. Nothing happens. Let's do a strings with it. Let's cat it first. We'll cat that key right key. Bunch of mumble jumble stuff right there. Remember, if you can't really read it, Control U is your friend, okay? Can't read anything on here. Understand that. Now let's do a strings then. Okay, it's just a bunch of mumble jumble for a reason. Start to read down this guy. Definitely see that it is doing something. Then we have an enter your name, and there's a name there, and then it says, congratulations, you have found the key. So we are actually going to need this key. I didn't realize that, but we are going to need that for later on. So let's go ahead and make a nano key.txt. We'll throw that in there. Alright, awesome. go ahead and exit out as FTP. Cool. And from here we have that key now, but still don't know what that key's for. We do know that there was a Charlie on the box, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and see, maybe we can run like a Python reverse shell. Which Python? Actually, I just did that one, so let's do a netcat. Like, let's do an NC. I did try to tack E1, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to do I want to cat my strings, or my scripts, excuse me. Let's do a netcat reverse shell. I'm going to try to throw this guy in there. And my IP address is 10.9.8.166. So I'm going to try this one like right here. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll try it anyways. 10.9.8.166. Now before I execute that, so I'm going to get a NC, tag LVMP 4444, so we'll be listening on that port, right? And let's try to execute this guy. He is hanging, okay. So I did get in him before with my reverse shell for Python. So if I go in cat scripts reverse Python.txt, I did get in with this, and I also checked beforehand if he had Python. He did have Python 2 on there, so I just typed in which Python, saw he had Python 2. Do an ls-tac LA. Alright, we got that key, we still have that validate. I wonder what that is. Strings validate.php. Alright, we got, okay, it's just Charlie and his password like right there. Which, maybe there's some type of local file inclusion that I didn't see or something like that. We did have, I'm wondering if we come back, if we can actually find some type of local file inclusion. Not really, huh? Ooh, incorrect credentials, then it goes to validate.php though. Or that's all about. Excuse me. So if we were able to use burp suite, intercept that, we might be able to do something with local file inclusion. We can try like real quick, because I did not do that last time. So let me go ahead and turn on burp, and I'll go ahead and just type in burp like real quick. And while that's loading up, we'll just keep working on stuff. Let me at least click OK first, because you know he doesn't like that. Next, start burp. We'll start him up, close that out for now. And while I'm in here, let's go ahead and do an ls-tac LA. Alright, we got that index.php.back. Let's go ahead and look at that, because that might be able to tell us stuff also. Looking like not much in here. Just hoping that backup file will be real nice for us, but not much. Go to CD in the home. LSLA. Okay, we got Charlie. Let's go ahead and cat Charlie. Or CD, excuse me, Charlie. Cool. We have a cat user.txt. We can't see that, but we do see a teleport. We can read that. We can read teleport. We can also read .profile. We can read teleport.pub. idrsa.pub. Let's go ahead and check out that teleport. Cat teleport. And that is an RSA key. Alright, so I grabbed that guy and I brought him back down to me over here. Under an ls-tac LA. You'll see I have the Charlie IDRSA. My cat Charlie IDRSA. You'll see that it is the same key. Okay, plus VLN plus VLN. So let's go ahead and SSH tac I Charlie IDRSA, because we are using the identity file, right? Before I do that, excuse me, we do have to do a change mode 600 to Charlie IDRSA. Then we can go ahead and run SSH tac I for identity file, Charlie IDRSA, Charlie at doorbox's IP address. Go ahead and enter, and we hop right into this machine. Let's go ahead and cat that user.txt now. Or CD into home /Charlie, and then we can cat that user.txt. And there's one of them. Alright, now let's go ahead and now we're in here like that. Let's go ahead and exit out here. We don't really need this guy anymore now, do we? Alright. Let's see how to elevate our privileges. We're going to do sudo tac L. See if these guys run sudo. I don't have a password or anything. Okay, we can, and we have user bin by. So let's go ahead and check out that GTFO bins. I'm going to turn off burp suite like real quick. We'll come back and hit that guy up. GTFO bins, and we did have vi, right? So it's looking like for vi with sudo, we have sudo vi tac c bin sh dev null. So let's go ahead and try that guy right there. And ID. And we are root. So let's go ahead and CD into /root LSLA, and you'll see there is no root.txt. Crap. So let's go ahead and Charlie can actually run this. I don't know if I ever actually need to upgrade my privileges. We'll try afterwards. Let's go ahead and do a Python for root.py. And it says enter the key. And that says incorrect. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a cat for root.py and see what it's asking us here. Alright, so we have an encrypted message. We can't really read that. Decrypt. So you are now the owner of Choclate. So it looks like encrypted mess. F decrypt. F equals furnish the key. So if we get the key, then we can decrypt the encrypted message up here. And then we're going to get this displayed to us. Print display 1, print display 2, print mess. So I don't know what this says like right here, but we did have a key, right? So let's go into a Python root.py because we did have a key. Now let's go ahead and cat that key. Now I did think at first this was also base 64. I just tried them like this, and all of a sudden we got the second flag. So there we are. Alright, awesome. So we got both those flags like right there. Now let's go ahead and keep working on this guy, see if we can do anything else with him within here, because it is a web test one. It falls under web testing. So let's go ahead and try to do Charlie, and then we'll do apostrophe, because we did see that did bring us to some sort of validate.php. I'm going to send that to repeater. Okay, what if we do a validate.php question mark ID equals 1? Is that a thing? Can we send that to response? Alert incorrect credentials. Okay, what if we do a file? What if we do a validate PHP question mark file equals that's the password? Can we do something like that? No, not seeing anything. Okay. File command. Alert incorrect credentials. Okay, nothing dropped yet. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do a username. Let's go ahead and do a 1 or 1 equals 1, and then we'll URL encode that with Control U. So let's do a Control U for that. URL encode it. Send that off. See if that does anything. Okay, or incorrect credentials. All right, that's okay. So not really seeing much local file includes or anything like that up here, but you know, it was a good try. See if there's anything we could do. There may be. I mean, there may be something. I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not typing it correctly. Uname equals Charlie. Can we just do something like that? Can we send that off? Okay. Let's do a PHP question mark uname equals Charlie. And let's do a password equals, let's put in the correct password because I want to see if we can do something else with this. So let's do that cat Charlie pass.text, right? That's not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and locate john.polygon. And let's go ahead and cat this. Cat that. We'll grab this guy again, this password over here that we cracked a while ago. And we're going to go ahead and throw him in here. Okay. We'll send that off. And we get a 200 OK home.php. So let's go ahead and do this something like this. Control V forward home.php, send a repeater. Repeater send off. Alright. What I want to kind of see is, actually I don't know why I even did all that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Turn it off. Okay. Incorrect credentials, I don't really understand how, but Charlie, there you go. Don't save. I want to try something like this. Alright, nothing in there. PHP question mark ID equals alright, nothing in there. Alright, so nothing like right there. Yeah, there's a bunch of squirrels. Charlie and Chocolate Factory. But because Audrey, the squirrels are like Oompa Loompas. Because Disney would sue the person. But hey, so we got through the whole box. I think we did pretty good. It was a quick one. Like I said, I forgot to press record the first time because I'm an idiot. But we did get through the second time pretty easily. So we did it twice in 40 minutes. So that was a pretty easy one. Hope you guys learned something. I know I did. My wife was making fun of me for that the other day. Yeah. Yep. What she said, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, you guys have a good one.